Hello everybody, today I'm gonna show you the basics for 3D printing using the program Cura from Ultimaker. So let's begin. First you have to download Cura from the website of Ultimaker, either for Mac, Windows or Linux. Once downloaded, install it. It is very simple and it usually doesn't take that long. Then Cura will open and then you will see what's new, some release notes, this for sure you can skip, and then click in close and then you're ready. Adding printers. Go to prepare in the left tab from above and in the printers window from the top left go to add printer. Then a new window will open for you to select from a non-Ultimaker or Ultimaker printer. In the next window go to add local printer and after that look for the printer you wanna use. Make a check on it and then go to add. Then you will see this printer listed on the printers window. So in this way you can keep adding more printers. Once you selected a printer, this will be visible in the working area. And to change the view, here bottom left you can see different symbols for different kinds of views like top, side, perspective and so on. To activate this, you can just click on one of them. Material selection. On prepare you can go to the material horizontal tab and select the material you want to use. For architectural models, I suggest you to use PLA filament because of its durability, strength and price. But you can also pick from other materials like ABS, PETG and so on. Just keep in mind that each material has different properties, so the printer parameters have to be every time adjusted before even the printer happens, and you will find all this information online. But for this tutorial I will be using white PLA. By the way, the standard filament diameters are 1.75 and 2.85, so check which diameter your printer uses before buying the filament. Importing geometry. Once you have prepared your 3D model as a closed mesh or polysurface in any given program, just grab and drop the file into Cura. In this example I will export from Rhino, so I go to File, Export Selected and save the object as OBJ, STL or 3ds. Then I have the option to define the amount of detail. This means the higher the number of polygons here, the better the resolution of the geometry to be exported. If you export it as OBJ and the geometries appear rotated 90 degrees, that's not a problem. To correct this orientation, you have to export again and uncheck in formatting the Map Rhino set to OBJY and the import will work. If you are exporting as STL or 3ds, you won't have this issue. Now, on the vertical left tab, you can see the basic operations like moving, scaling, painting, rotating, mirroring that you can use to manipulate your imported geometries. Making copies. To make multiple copies, just select the geometry and with the right click on the mouse a menu will open. Here you can select Multiply Selected. Then opens a new window where you can specify the number of copies. Here let's do it with 10. And as you see now, new copies will appear in a nice, organized, compact way. Adjusting printing settings. Still in Prepare you can see in the right side of your screen the printing settings window in a very simplified way. Here you can change the resolution of your prints from draft to extra fine quality, but these are standard settings. And this you can further adjust if you click on Show Custom, then a detailed breakdown of all the parameters will be displayed. I suggest you to always open the customized parameters, so you can have better control over your 3D printing. Now, let's slice the geometry with existing parameters, and as you can see, it takes 18 hours and 8 minutes to print. Well, we can optimize this by doing some adjustments like increasing the layer height to 0.25 mm, decreasing the infill to 5%, raising the speed to 100 mm per second, and also by adjusting the brim width. Brim. It's a kind of addition helper that Cura generates to keep the main geometry attached to the base plate. Unfortunately, in order to change this parameter, you have to activate it first. And for that, you go to the 3 horizontal lines button, top right, and pick the Manage Setting Visibility. Then a new window will open, then we look for the brim, and check the box Brim Width. Now this option is open in your 3D printing settings window. Here we will reduce it to 1 mm, so after slicing again, we see much less brim, and that the printing settings has been reduced to 7 hours 15 minutes. Top bottom layers. As the name says, these layers are located on the top and bottom of the geometries to be printed, and in architectural scale models the bottom undersides are usually not visible, so we can reduce this value to just 2 layers or even 0 and save some time. Now let's take a look at the infill. Here I have a value of 5% and a grid pattern. If you're looking for strength, then you would use a higher percentage. And you can also check how long would it take with different patterns. There are some to choose from. One of them, the gyroid, is the one that takes less time. This is a kind of minimal surface generator, so the shapes come from minimizing the amount of surface area to create the support structure. And as you can see now, we are on 5 hours 43 minutes. That would be one way of adjusting the printing time, but for now let's go back to the grid support and make some other adjustments. Support. Here the important value is the overhang angle. If the angle value decreases, the supports will hold the part of the geometries from where this angle begins. In that case, it means more supports. But if the angle increases, then the supports will hold less cantilever surface. Like this. Keep in mind that the horizontal surfaces where the support touches won't be smooth because of the grab. So after removing the support structures, you will have to do some sanding. You can also choose tree-like support structures. And also here adjust the shapes of the branches of the trees and the overhang angle. Check always that the geometries of the trees look logical enough to support whatever they have to. PLA is strong, but I would suggest trunks that begin with at least 10 mm diameter, so the supports are robust enough. Color scheme. This allows you to have visual control of the 3D printing elements. Here you can turn on and off the elements like walls, supports and infills, and basically run checkups before the actual printing happens. By the way, this white line here is where the head of the nozzle will stop and jump into the next vertical level, and they are called seams. One way of reducing them is by decreasing the layer height and reducing the printing speed, thus reducing the oscillation during the printing process. Adaptative layers. If you have a geometry that goes from vertical to horizontal, you will notice that the layer height has a big impact on the finishing. So as the surface gets more horizontal, then it requires less layer height in order to approximate better to the shape. For that, you can activate the adaptative layers the same way we did it for the brim in the Settings visibility window. Look for the adaptative layers in Experimental and check all these boxes. Now you can adjust the minimum and the maximum layer height values, and this will be distributed according to the shape. In the vertical part of the geometries, a higher value like 0.2 will be assigned, and as they turn horizontal, the lower value 0.1 will take over, looking like this. Preview. When slicing and simulating the 3D printing process, you can pre-visualize how this works. With the slider in the middle below part of your screen, you see the progress on each layer, and with the right side slider, the vertical progression of all the layers. And again, you can also turn on and off the various elements from the color scheme window. Paint. You can use the paint tool to move undesired seams, but keep in mind that this will only place them somewhere else. But at least you can paint them in places where you don't want to have them. You can also paint the areas for printing with a second extruder if your 3D printer has two. And finally, we have exporting. So once you have adjusted all the settings, it's time to export. First, save the project file of Cura as 3MF, and then the printing file either as UFP or as G-code. Remember that the printer reads the printing file and not the project file. Then you can input your printing file in the 3D printer with an USB stick, or by sending it via network if the printer is connected to your computer. Then select your file in the touchscreen, press print, and wait for the magic to happen. Once the 3D printing is done, you can remove the glass plate from the 3D printer and then carefully take out the 3D printed piece. Better if you use ice protection because some of the support pieces may fly away, and if the piece is really hard to take off, you can cool down the glass plate with some cold water. Then it's easy to remove it. And that's it. While the 3D printing is doing its job, you can do other things and get more things done. I hope you find this tutorial very helpful. If so, please like it, share it and subscribe for more. And if you wanna leave some comments, feel free. I would love to have some feedback so I can improve my videos and also the content. Take care. Ciao, ciao.